Hello my friends, I hope you're well. In this video, what we're going to be doing is a one-sided bid-ask strategy. This works really well if you want to yield farm a particular token on Solana and you don't want to buy into a token, and it protects you even if the token falls. So even if it falls, you're still probably going to be safer than if you went with a normal spot position or a curve position, or you went with a both-sided pool, you bought the token itself. So you're only going to be using Solana for this method. We can use something like Grok, for example. And what we want to do is if we buy here, this ends up being our range. So we can kind of see this is the floor. And when it falls, we're going to earn fees. And then when it bounces back up, we're going to exit if it does. Now, when you want this strategy to work is totally up to you. I wouldn't do this for any new coins. I would do this for ones that you think, oh, I really like this coin. I really want to buy it. Say, for example, this one looks good, but would you buy at this position? You kind of want to buy a bit lower, if you know what I mean, if you wanted to do a spot buy. So in the meantime, you can yield farm it. So let's take, for example, that Grok one. And what we'll do is we'll just click the contract and we'll head over to pools and we'll see what we got in terms of pools. I would advise for this strategy, you need 100 or 200 bin step. So anywhere above 100. What you don't want to do is do a 20 bin step because that's too small. And this needs to run for possibly a few hours. You won't make as much in few hours off of that, but we can demonstrate it with a 20 bin step just for the purpose of the video. So what you want to do is you want to just put in Solana and you want to click bid ask. What that's going to do, if we pull up the chart, will give us a range between here. So if it falls down, we'll start earning fees. In the meantime, you won't lose anything. You won't gain anything. You won't lose anything. So if we go in with 0.5 and we just click bid ask, my bad, let's go with 0.4. Let's say, for example, it goes up in that position. If it starts going up, we won't lose anything. We will just have our Solana. So we're just stuck with Solana here. Now the price needs to move between these levels now and for it to happen. This can be done pretty quick. Like it could literally just start to fall into here. So if it starts to drop here and then quickly bounce back, you might make a couple of dollars in that sense, depending on how much you put in. I tend to do this with large amounts on Solana USDC pools, but you can see here it's swapped. Now, please note the benefit of this strategy is I put in 0.4 Solana and we pretty much still have 0.4 Solana, but we have a little bit of Grok and we're earning fees in this time. So what happens is within this period, it doesn't swap that much. This is probably about from here to here, it's probably about 50% of our Solana all the way to here. So it needs to fall quite a bit. And don't forget, if you're doing this on a 100 bin step, it will have to fall quite a bit, like maybe 50%, which is quite a safe range to yield farm. If it falls down to here, you'll obviously swap most of it into Solana. So up here is where we kind of want to hang around here. And what we want to hang around for is we're just holding our Solana and then doing that. What I tend to do with this kind of strategy is I claim the fees, but I keep the Solana and I just add the bonk or gronk back into the pool. So you just claim it. Even if it's out of range, you can add just the grok or just the token itself. So I'd click here. Once it's done, let me refresh it because it takes ages. You can still even add it now and you can put in another bid ask position. What that would do is this part will start to rise and that's kind of what you want. So over time, you can actually still build it out. So we've deposited that into the pool as well. And if it goes into range, it's fine. Now have a look, we haven't lost anything. We're still at 0.4 Solana. So it's a safe way to yield farm. Now what you don't want to do is drop into a coin that dies down and never bounces back. So you need to be aware of that. That's the only downside to this strategy. And if you are yield farming tokens that are kind of at the top, or what you feel is at the top, you need to be using a bid-ask strategy. Because even if it gets to somewhere like down here, you can close it and think, okay, I've made a mistake. And you'll end up with probably like 0.37 Solana and the tokens, you won't have lost much value in your Solana as opposed to doing a curve or a spot. So make sure you use that and utilize it well. I hope this video has helped. All the best and take care.